My wife recently told me, no more rifles, you're done. And I thought to myself, well, why not just go ahead and get a carbine, right? The carbine's not a rifle. And then I thought to myself, well, what am I going to get? Well, how about a new Colt M4 Carbine? That sounds good. Where am I going to get one? Oh, right here. Look at this. It's a Colt M4 Carbine with a carry handle. Let's get over to the shop and take a look. And here's some of the components that we're going to use to put together this M4 Legacy Carbine build. This is just a Colt Carbine lower. This is marked M4 Carbine on the side and also has the Colt Rampant Pony logo and the Colt branded logo. This also has 13629 on the hammer. This is a semi-automatic lower and has an H buffer. Next, we got the Colt Surplus handguards that I got here. These are USGI Surplus Colt handguards. These have the 7 holes. These are also double heat shielded, and I got these from Wetworks Outfitters. Great shipping, great stuff that they got on their website. Make sure you give them some love. Stop by them at Wetworks Outfitters. And here I've got the Colt carry handle sight. This is a genuine Colt part and has C-4 underneath the top peephole. Then right down here I've got a bolt carrier group I purchased from Charlie's. This is an M16 bolt carrier group that is marked C on the side. And then basically I've just got a generic waffle stock. This is a P&S Products manufactured waffle stock. I've got a Spectre gear sling, USGI charging handle with no markings. And then I have a takeoff here as far as the upper goes. This is an upper that I took off my SOCOM clone that I purchased a few years ago. Now obviously this is a heavy barrel, and I do not believe that the M4 had the heavy barrel. I believe the heavy barrel just went on the M4 A1, and that was not until 1997 or the early 2000s when they upgraded from the SOP mod package. Let's get it together. And a couple things to set straight before we get started. The M4 Carbine was issued in 1994. If you were issued an M4 prior to 1994, I'd like to hear from you. Drop me a comment. The second thing to get out there is the M4 Carbine was a select fire rifle, having safe, semi, and 3-round burst. It was not fully automatic. It is not the same as the M4 Carbine seen here in this picture. The M4 A1 Carbine, seen here in the form of another inspired rifle, has a SOP mod accessory package that would have had an upgraded Knight's Armament quad rail for lights, sling points, night vision, and lasers. The carry handle sight was removed in favor of a holographic weapon sights, magnifiers, or magnified optics, and has room for a backup iron sight as well. This carbine was also a select fire carbine that has safe, semi, and auto for full auto. The switch gave the Marines, sailors, and soldiers the ability to lay down massive amounts of firepower that was needed in the dynamic battlegrounds. Who doesn't love a carbine, especially an inspired Colt M4 carbine? If you've seen my other videos, you know I love Colt, and I was happy to source some parts to put this M4 inspired build together. Since the introduction of the M4 carbine in 1994, the platform has gone through a lot of changes. If you had one of the early issued M4s, you most likely had one that looks just like this. And let's see what we have on here. Basically, this carbine has SOCOM heavy barrel. It has the front sight post. This has the sling loop that's on the side. This has the 7-inch handguards. On top, you see the flat top receiver. You see this is the carry handle. This one was sourced by Colt. On the bottom of the lower receiver, you've got the Colt Rampant Pony logo and the Colt branded logo. Also states M4 carbine, caliber 5.56 millimeter. These are getting increasingly difficult to find. I had to wait a few months before I could actually get one of these. Most of the ones that I could find, they just say carbine on them. But generally, if you go to a website, the ones that say M4 carbine, generally they're sold out, but I was able to get one. So I was happy about that. On the side, it says Colt Defense, Hartford, Connecticut. Down here at the bottom, there's a dot matrix code. You can scan that, and basically it just says Colt's cage code 13629, and it gives you the serial number of the rifle. This one obviously is a semi-automatic, which just has safe and fire and no fun switch. And if you see back here, this is just a basic USGI waffle stock. This one's made by P&S Products, and it's on top of a 4-position bumper tube. And we got the carbine slapped over on the side right now. We'll take a look at the waffle stock that's in the back. Basically, this is a generic U.S. government issue waffle stock. The one on this particular carbine is made by P&S Products. You see here the cage code of P&S 4U486, and it's got the Made in the USA label right there. Colt contracted P&S Products not only to make this waffle stock, but they also made the Knights Armament handrail as an alternative supplier to the M4 RAS that was used in the beginning in the 2000s. This does not have the ambidextrous safety, but it does have the tick mark where you can see from the other side whether it's on safe or fire. Again, if this had the fun switch, it would say here auto, and you could see by the tick mark what the selector switch was on. This basically just has a generic A2 grip. On the top of this flat top upper, it says 13629, and then we've got the forging mark. I believe that's the keyhole, and I believe that's Cerro Forge. Up here on the top, this is a Colt branded carry handle, and it has a square forging mark, and I believe that one is Brass Aluminum Forging Enterprises. It's got the Handguards. I purchased these, as I stated, from Wetworks Outfitters. Great company if you're looking to get some cool USGI stuff. They got a great selection and really fast shipping. I got these in less than a week from the time I ordered them. These are just Colt generic surplus, double shielded with heat guards, and they're just the 7-inch handguards. These are a little bit tougher to go on than the other handguards that I have. Because the ends of them are so thick, but just work them in there a little bit. I didn't have to take anything off of them to make them fit in there. But they work pretty good. They look pretty good, and they're pretty good shape. They don't have any marks on them other than it just says government issue on the inside of the handguard where it's shielded. And then again, this one has the SOCOM upper, which has a heavy barrel. I don't think the heavy barrel was introduced sometime until the 2000s, but I could be wrong about that. The M4 carbine, I believe, was a 3-round burst carbine, and then when the M4 A1 came around, I believe that's when it went to the select fire and the fully automatic fire and trigger control group. All right, let's take a look at the internals of what I have here on this carbine. So basically, if you take a look at this, we've got the bolt carrier group. This one is a Colt, and it has the C mark right there, kind of hard to see. I got this one over at Charlie's. Gotta love them. They got some really great parts over there. It's also marked NPC, and you can kind of see that right there. Anyway, it looks really good. Obviously, it's an M16 bolt carrier. And then if you look at this, this is just a basic mil-spec charging handle. It's not ambidextrous, and you take it out by pressing this back on the left side. And then if you take a look at the trigger group on here, you can see basically it has 2 S's on here, right here and right here. And basically that just stands for Schmid. Schmid is the manufacturer. And then if you take a look at this right here on this hammer, you'll notice that it has 13629 on the top of the on the top of the hammer. And obviously this one's rounded right here, which is basically how they all should be. A lot of the Colts that I have, well, the other Colts that I have, they have this goofy notch in here, which absolutely serves no purpose if you have a Colt rifle that has, an M16 bolt carrier group in it. So anyways, I'm not sure if this is like new production. Basically, I've never seen one before that says, 13629 on the hammer itself. But again, it does have the S on here for Schmid, and basically they're the manufacturer of the other Colts that I have as well. Anyway, happy to get this M4. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty lightweight compared to a lot of the M4s that came out once the M4 went through the modular weapon system adaptation, where you had an M4 RAS, and you had things that go on the top and the side, and optics and night vision and a light and everything else. So the more that you put on that handguard, which weighs a little bit more than these plastic handguards, you're just going to continue to add weight, but you have a lot more capability with what the soldiers had in the 2000s and 2010s than you had when this rifle first came out. All right, and let's see what this carbine weighs. And we're looking at 7 pounds, 2.2 ounces without a magazine. And if we get the magazine, this one is a PMag. It holds 30 rounds and it has some M855 in there right now. The magazine with the ammo weighs basically 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. And we throw it all together. And you'll see that the carbine weighs 8 pounds, 3.6 ounces. Basically, it got a little bit heavier. Obviously, it got heavier when you added more things to it, but when you're looking at being able to add night vision, a light, a pressure switch, and anything else that you need to put on these rifles so that these troops are prepared for battle, then that's what they had to do regardless of how much it weighed, and they got the mission done and they got the job done. So final thoughts on this Colt M4 carbine that we've got here. Basically, I love it. It's simple. It's easy to maneuver. It's light because it's so simple. It's just got the carry handle and the heat shielded handguards. I love the markings on this lower with the Colt branded logo and the Colt rampant pony and the M4 carbine marks. I think that looks really cool. And I love this rifle. I had it out at the range, so we'll get some range footage on there. It's easy to shoot. Appreciate you watching. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and y'all have a great day. I appreciate you.